What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Flying Brian's Garage. So, today, here is the plan. I've been excited for this one for a while, and now it's come to fruition, and we're going to go ahead and start working on it. If you're OGs to the channel, you might remember this. This was a revival that we did a while back. It was a old MTD I got from my buddy. This thing hadn't ran in a while. We got the engine running. We could not get it to move because the pulleys and everything are just wasted under there, and I don't have the Very Drive parts to fix this, nor do I even care to fix the Very Drive in this because they are garbage. I hate Very Drive. So, in this video, this is going to be getting a Honda 16 horse V Twin. Kind of a rare boy that I've heard of. I've never really seen one, and I did a little research on this engine, and they say this one is it comes on one special mower. It's Craftsman, and it's kind of hard to find, so at least in good shape. So that's a good thing. That's a damn good engine we're going to be using on this build. And then we have a Peerless MST206 Transaxle to lock up and install. So between this guy here and that guy there, this thing is going to be a race/drift mower, and it should be pretty fast, and it should be about the equivalent or maybe a little better than our General. I'm hoping for better. So we're going to lower this thing. We're going to swap out the engine, transaxle. I've got a whole steering component to swap out, so we're going to do away with the MTD steering and put in a Murray steering fan. It still has the same, hookups and all that stuff, so we're going to install that. Like I said, new engine, new transaxle. We're going to put a battery box somewhere on this thing and get us a electrical system set up on it. Get it looking really nice, get it pulley swapped, get that transaxle locked up. That way this thing will eat every time I push on that gas. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Well, we're going to start with disassembly and then move on to reassembly. So let's get into it. First things first. Now this is a good running 11.5. We revived this, and if you did see the last video, and if you didn't, I will put it at the end of the video in the little area where you can click on stuff. This engine ran pretty good. The starter was locked up when I first got it, and the engine was a little sticky, but we soaked it in ATF. We got everything freed up. We got this engine to run and run good. Runs really good. So we're probably going to keep this for, whatever. I could always use an extra engine, and plus it's a flathead. Those are kind of hard to find now, so I think I might hold on to this one. I like the fact that it does not have the overhead valve. It is the original Briggs engine. Now it's not that old, but it's probably it's a 93. That's a 93. So that engine is probably stock, and I like that. That's cool. So that engine is 31 years old. It was born the same year I was. So we'll keep that and set it aside. But first things first, we need to get that pulled. So let's get in here and take off our hood, get it out of the way, and start getting to our engine, unbolting and removing. Alright guys, so we've got down this far. Took the hood off, took the gas tank out. I took the seat and brace and springs off. I finally got this crap off of the back that was a bagger holder thing. So we're going to hard mount the seat, of course. I think I'm going to have to build a new dash because I don't want to use this cracked up crap right there, so I might just build a new dash. We're putting a whole new steering unit in, so we need to tear the dash top off and the steering shaft, gear, and rod out. All this stuff here needs to come out for the very drive. The deck lever needs to come out. More than likely the FNR lever needs to come out. But we're going to go ahead and start with pulling the engine. And once we get the engine pulled, then what we will probably do is I might drag it and rinse it. But the car show is like in 2 days, and this really needs a bath and to be brought out and gotten ready. So I'm about to probably get this out real quick and give it a bath, get it ready for the car show, and then yeah, so let's do that real quick, and then we'll proceed with the MTD build. So far so good though, starting to look a little better. Alright guys, got this thing raised up in the air. We're going to go ahead and start removing our engine, getting it off of here, and getting ready to start kind of altering our front end to lower it and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead, jump into this, and get this knocked out real quick. Got the 11.5 out. The only thing is I made a mistake and forgot to unhook the starter, and I yanked the starter wire right out of it, so I could probably fix it though. Let's go ahead and scrape this frame, clean it up with a wire wheel, all that good stuff, and get this out of the way so we can start modifying our frame. Alright guys, I'm calling it a night. I've actually got some editing to do. So this is where we're at. We've got the front end tore apart and cleaned up. I'm going to recess and put a different axle in it. I got a stamped steel axle here. I mean, it's still hollow, but it's better than the hollow ones that are an MTD. And we're going to cut and modify it to go in there and hard bolt it in. And yeah, that should be a big difference. But we'll be back out here on this project again tomorrow. Till then, I'm going to go in and take me a break and edit some videos. So I will see you guys back out here again tomorrow. Alright guys, back out here. Second day on the MTD. There is so much work that's going to be going into this thing. We're not going to film every ounce of this project, because if I had to compare this project with any project that I have around here work-wise that needs to go into it, I'd have to say the Beast. And if you don't know what the Beast is, or if you've never seen the Beast, here's the Beast. If you look at this thing, just look at it for a minute. You can immediately tell how much work went into this thing. Look at that back rack. And that is removable, by the way. That's a 22 horse Briggs & Stratton V Twin engine that we need to revive and do a video on soon, because she's been sitting there for almost a year. We need to do something with that. But that's how much work is going into this. We're not going to film everything. First things first, we have to slide the dash back, because there's not enough room in here for the steering components that I'm putting in. I took out the old steering components and everything. I've tore off a lot so far. And what we're going to do is we're going to move the dash back 5 inches. And then we're going to accommodate that 5 inches with a longer dash to reach the hood. So let's go ahead and, oh, I gotta do the arms on the hood too. Damn, that's okay, I can do it. Let's slide the dash back 5 inches and get it in place, and then probably go ahead and put the hood on it, get everything modded up with the hood, and build a dash for it. Alright guys, we're done for the day. Shaggy's already came and picked up his mower, and he's getting ready to go to the car show. So this is gonna have to wait. I gotta get things ready myself, so I'll see you guys back out here again tomorrow, the next day. A couple days later, we did come out here and work yesterday. We attended the car show. That's in a different video that y'all will probably have already seen, or if you haven't, it'll be in the ending description area where my videos, or the video is. I usually put the playlist and the little, subscribe thingy. But the car show did pretty well. We actually had some different people out there. Got to check out some cars, got to talk to some folks. It was a good time. It was Butch's birthday. We didn't film that, of course. It was. I grilled some burgers for everybody. They had brought some food and all that stuff, and asked if anybody could cook. So I went ahead and tried to do a little helping out, and man the grill, and cooked us up some decent food. And we had a good old time, and yeah, it was good. So if y'all want to go check that video out, like I said, it'll be at the ending. We had a good time at least, and the general did pretty well. A lot of people were interested, and it was just nice to see that the thing was getting some attention. Shaggy's was too, actually. He couldn't ride it, but he sure could start it. And boy, she sounds good. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump back into the MTD and go ahead and put our dash in the spot that we have decided to move it to. I'm already going to drill some holes. I got to look underneath, make sure that I have clearance to drill those holes to be framed. Let's go ahead and check it out. Here's my sketch of this unit. I kind of did a little, I cannot draw. Y'all will laugh at this. I cannot draw. But it at least gives me an idea of what I need to do to this thing. Yeah. Whatever. I know that looks like crap. Laugh if you want to. It's not gonna bother me. Okay, so I've decided with the box in there, we're gonna move the dash back about this far. And I know that looks really close, but I think the steering wheel being really right up with the seat is going to be good. This might end up turning into a drag race build. I'm not sure, but the way it's starting to look, oh, it's starting to look like that, with everything kind of slammed towards the back, and nothing but engine and compartment in the front. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe the wheelie bars are going to go on this unit, not the general. Uh-oh. Might have to do that. I don't know. I had a buddy of mine comment on Facebook, give me that idea. He said, you should maybe build a drag racing mower. I don't know. What are we going to do? Is it going to be a race drift mower? Is it going to be a drag mower? Might have to stay tuned to find out. Alright guys, we got our dash mounted. It is up there and on. So that's our new spot. We cut out the grip tape for in here. And we also went ahead and took out this piece of metal that was in here that was all raised up. We cut it out. And I'm going to put a flat piece over this. And probably weld and bolt it in. And we can go ahead and start putting our steering on. Our steering fan gear is here. This is what we're going to use. So, make room. Let's go ahead and get this finished up so we can go ahead and get that installed. And then we can go ahead and start mocking up a dash and getting the steering column and steering wheel in. Alright, we got our piece of metal to cover this up, cut out, laying there. About to weld it in. And continue on. Alright guys, we went ahead and put our fan gear in. From that is a Murray fan gear, and then the steering rod will connect here and go that way. So I think that was the perfect replacement for, you know, what it did have, because the teeth were gone on the original one. Here, I'll show you. I had tried to weld them back, and it wasn't a very good job, but it had been very, very, very severely stripped out. This steering shaft and steering wheel is all seized together, so it's really no good. I am going to try to remove this grommet here, because I actually like to have these. I don't know, it just kind of dresses everything up, in my opinion. Right over it just like that. And then when we put this steering wheel on, which I like better anyway, it'll be on like this. And it'll drop down in there, bolt together, and then we'll have us a complete Murray steering, even with the rod in this tractor, which is way better than the MTD. The gear itself that was in this wasn't bad. I could have put another shaft in there, but I don't like the MTD setup. I like the Murray setup, or the Craftsman, second gen Craftsman steering, and I had the Murray on hand, so I opted to go with it. So what we're going to do is go ahead and try to fit us up some kind of a dash. That way we can go ahead and get the steering column and steering wheel in place, all down in there, and then we're ready to go ahead and start with our front end That way when we're done with our front end, we can connect it straight to the steering and be done with all of that. Fit our hood, and then move on to, you know, stripping out the rear and getting all the rest of the crap out from under it, getting that prepped up and ready to go, putting a transaxle in it, and so on and so forth. So, like I said, stay tuned. A lot of work to be done. I'm going to try to continue on a little more tonight and try to see what I can do for a dash. And yeah, we'll see how it turns out. Alright guys, me and the Marshall dog are probably about to call it a night. It's getting kind of late. I did get quite a bit done on this today with the dash area. We got it moved back. We actually have the dash welded on both sides, just like this. We got that big part cut out here. It was sitting right there. Plated it. Put our Murray steering gear in, welded it at all 4 points. We shortened our shaft. I cut this much off of the steering shaft to drop it down some. We redid our line and our holes. Also had to cut out this little part here for the steering. Probably didn't have to cut so deep, but I did anyway just to give it some room. It looks good. Operates good. It has good steering on it now. So on to our front end tomorrow. So we'll come back out here tomorrow, start working on our front end and our hood placement, getting everything situated, figuring out if our gas tank still fits. If it don't, I should be able to drop this plate down some to give it the room to put in there, but if not, I mean, I feel like it will fit, honestly. But I bolted here and I welded the tops. This is an old deck plate, I do believe. Drilled the hole for the ignition, drilled the hole for the steering shaft. It's a lot sturdier, that's for sure. So, like I said, tomorrow I'll be back out here. What I'm probably going to do with the fenders is I'm probably going to make the seat just like it is and leave that. And I'm probably going to score it or cut it. Same on that side, and then kind of fold everything in and weld it back together to give it a lowered look. But other than that, yeah, I like it. It's coming together, and we'll be back out here on this project again tomorrow to see how far we can get with the front end. Hopefully get it down on the ground as a roller and be able to turn around and start working on that transaxle. So I'll see you guys back out here again tomorrow. I'm going to take a quick second and pause the video and ask y'all to help me with something. I need y'all to do me a favor. Go down and hit that subscribe button. Smash it. Smash that bell. Go like the videos. You know, tell me where you're from. Say hi. Whatever. Ask me questions. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. And I cannot do that without your guys' help. So definitely go subscribe, check out the Facebook, the Instagram, the Snapchat, and now we have a TikTok. You can just go type in Flying Brian's Garage and you will find me. All the profile pictures are the same. It's easy to find. And yeah, give me some likes, give me some subscribes, and all that good stuff. I'm trying to build this, and I can't build it without everybody's help. So, hope you guys are enjoying the videos. You know, got a lot of good videos coming, constantly coming, and I'm constantly sourcing new projects. So, stay tuned, and with that being said, let's get back to the video. Alright guys, a couple days later, back on the MTD. Didn't film yesterday because I'd found out some news that did not make me happy at all. I barely could focus on working. I did get a little done, but I was in no mood to be on the camera. And even if I was on the camera, you wouldn't like me on the camera. So I just decided to just put the film down yesterday, do what I could do, and then get back on it today. Our front end is mounted. It's not completely done yet because I have to add some extra bracing to keep it from doing the twisty turnies. But it's on there. Don't worry about the camber or the caster angle, whichever one of those are. The rear end's going to drop some and it will equal out in the long run. First things first, I have to start off today. This stupid town I live in decided they wanted to try to put a bunch of rules on us, which I'm not sure that's legal. I've already looked it up, but now they're trying to say you can't have this in your yard, can't have that in your yard, gotta have it looking a certain way, this, that, and another. And I already keep my yard pretty nice, but I guess I need to make sure for extra precautions so they don't look at my yard, because it's not mine I'm worried about. Mine's not going to get them up here. It's my next door neighbor that does not take care of shit. That's the house that's going to get them up here. So I've got to consolidate. First things first is I'm going to come out here by myself. I'm going to put some wheels on this trailer, get it moved, get this moved. This stuff here is going, all this scrap back here. I've got someone coming today to pick this up. So they're going to get them some free scrap. I'm going to get this crap out of my hair. I'm still going to keep some parts. Those two frames I'm keeping, the two snapper frames, the decks, you know, whatever's in the trailer here I'm keeping. Keeping the lawn cart and the trailer over there, but everything else here is gonna go. So I'm gonna go ahead and start doing what I need to do to gather what I'm gonna keep, and then let dude take the rest. Alright guys, I did a little work on the unit, but I've got some cleaning up to do. Our junk guy came and picked up all the scrap. Big thanks to him. You can watch videos, but really nice older fella. Just likes to work, likes to scrap, so he does it every day. I think he was a disabled veteran, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. See, coming up the driveway, all you can see is the fence, and then everything is back here now. He came and got all the junk. I mowed everything and cleaned everything up. All of our trash is in this one trailer that we will dump here soon. Otherwise, we have everything crammed back here in the corner, and it is hidden from sight. Also, I put the stuff that I had, you know, around here. And, you know, some of it back here. I still gotta clean this up. I'm probably gonna take this inside this because I'm going to use it for putting my other lift in that I built up there. We're gonna move it down here to make it look a little less tacky up there. Also move the trash barrel from over there to down here. So now all you see, and we're gonna move the trailer as well, but now all you see is that. Get that moved down there. We're gonna wash these two vehicles so they can't say nothing about them, and then you know, clean up the rest of everything, and then we're good to go. So especially once I fix all that, side it a little bit, and we're gonna put that trailer back there like I said, so it'll hide everything that I need to hide. Rest of the yard looks pretty good, you know, it's clean. So, yeah. Thank God for this area. 'Cause, I mean, it really hides all of this. Tractors, 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 tractors. Everywhere. Alright. Well, enough of that. Let's, I might put my trailer there and move the lowered mower over here. Honestly, my trailer would fit right up in there. Yep. So I'm gonna finish this up and probably show you what it is when it's done, and then we'll get back on the MTD tomorrow. Alright guys, it has been a week or longer since I've been out here in the main shop. We have been working on this periodically off and on, and as if y'all are watching this video, you just saw that I ran out of wire. Now that was a week or so ago, but for y'all it was a second ago. So we just ran out of wire, and luckily the other day someone contacted me and wanted the Troy-Bilt lowered mower, and they came and got it. So it is gone off to its new owner. I am very happy about that. That's just my hair, I saw it in the camera. So I was able to fund a roll of welding wire. Got 35 this time, since I got a 35 tip, and it feels in better. So let's go ahead and get some welding done on this tonight. We're going to try to get as much done as we can. Just to, you know, get this thing closer and closer to being finished. So I'm going to weld on the front axle, kind of close up that stamped steel and make it a little more sturdy, and then we'll worry about bracings and stuff tomorrow. At some point I will probably work on this. I do have another project in the shop. I just revived the Beast over this week, and it is back up and going again. And also I am reviving the patina build 90s model Murray trail mower that we had built not too long ago. It has sat ever since we built it, has not been ridden but maybe a few times in that video, and that is it. Needs gas tank, needs carburetor clean, needs a few things. We're going to be working on that too. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it tonight and get some of this welding done. So that'll be one less thing we have to do on this thing. Alright guys, time for me to go take dinner break. What I'm doing is I'm closing up the stamped steel so it's a lot more sturdy I've got this side so far. I've got to continue on the top, continue on the bottom, and I've got a little bit of this side. I've also got that done. So once that's done, we'll center up the axle, weld some supports going back to the frame, and then probably bolt those on so everything's kind of removable. I want it to be removable this time. So I'm going to weld the brackets onto the front end, but they'll be bolted to the frame, and then we'll go ahead and get our steering trajectory and all that good stuff right for the future. So I'm going to go take my dinner break, throw the old feed sack on, as they say, or belly up to the feed trough, and I will be back out here in just a little bit. Alright, just got back out here from having some fried chicken, and now we're going to finish up our front end. Probably going to do the bottom and then finish the top. I'd like to get that done because it's like 10:30 and I got editing to do, and I want to kick back and relax, so let's get this finished. Alright, we now have our stamped steel front axle welded all the way around. The top welds and bottom welds aren't so pretty, but it is completely welded together, so hopefully it will not come apart. I expect this thing to go pretty fast, and I do not want it to split. So yep, that's totally reinforced. Now all we need to do is get the rest of the front end situated with the steering rod and actual steering itself. That's one thing I've got to get situated, so more to come. Might try to do a little more tonight, excuse me, but it is getting kind of late, so I might go ahead and call it for tonight and come back out here and do some more on this tomorrow at some point. I'd like to get it somewhat where I want it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it for the night. I'll see you guys out here tomorrow on this project. Alright guys, it is the next day. Yes, I got a haircut. Well, actually no, it's 2 days later. We were on this the other night, actually, and yesterday I worked on my wife's mower. That one. We did a revival on it, so y'all go check out that video if y'all haven't seen it. But we're out here today on MTD. We're definitely stuck in here because it is raining out there. Glad I got everything done yesterday because it is wet in that area back there, and I'm glad I'm not working in it. So we're dry up in here. Not a hard rain, just a light rain, which is great. Also charging the battery on the Beast over here. I need to check the voltage on it and make sure it's getting some charge. But let's go ahead and start getting some of this done. I actually came through the other night and did some work off camera. Came in and flipped the spindles around, so this is in the front, and it kind of glides where it needs to. Everything's connected, so the steering is now kind of connected. All I got to do is adjust our steering rod because it's hitting there, and it needs to be kind of flipped about. So let's do some chopping and some welding and get our steering angle right. So all that'll be done, and all we'll have to do is come in, add our brackets for the hood, which we'll have to trim those to fit and support them, and then run a couple of supports to the frame for the front axle, add some wheels, some tires, and we should be done with that. So let's go ahead and jump into it today, see how far we can get. Maybe we can get this front end finished, and if we can, that is one step closer to actually having this thing a roller, because I'd like to get the front end done, get it to where I can set the hood on it, go ahead and get the extension built from the dash, because I'm not extending the hood like I did on the lowered Troy built and welding to the hood, because I do not want this hood to be touched. I'm actually going to come off the dash instead and meet the hood. So get that done, and then we'll know where we can place our engine and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and get to work. I think I want to switch gears here, and I'm not going to work on this today. I'm actually going to work on, technically I am working on it, but I'm not working on the body. I'm going to work on the engine back here. So I'm going to do a separate video on getting the engine running. I think we'll go ahead and pull it out, put it on the engine stand, and see if I can get it revived. I've never heard it run, ever. I got it. It was off of a mower. I traded something for it. Guy brought it here, and that's it. That's all I know. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing running. And I will leave a link to this video in the description. I don't know if I've said before in this video that I'll leave a link to anything in the description at the end of the video, but if I did, scratch that. It's going to be this video for sure. So let's go ahead and get that engine and see what we can do with it. And I'll probably be back to this tomorrow or the next day. So I'll see you guys on this video then. So it's been about an hour. We are back on the MTD. The engine is was full of, well, it don't even show it anymore. God, it was milky. You can kind of see the remnants of the milkiness in the corners, but so bad. We're actually soaking it in oil, some old gasoline, and some ATF, filled to the top with that crankcase. We're going to soak it all night, drain it tomorrow, go get us some fresh oil filter, and continue on with that. So we got a little bit of time to work on this tonight, and we are going to do just that. So I'm going to break out some tools, and we're going to do what we can tonight on our MTD lowered drag race mower. Alright guys, we're not going to be working on the rear end right now. Where are you going, Marshall? You'll be okay in here. Our mascot's just getting used to the shop. I think whoever had him before scared him with loud stuff, because I'm just getting him used to the sounds of the shop and not to be scared of it. Good boy. But we're going to be removing the transaxle in this tonight, getting it ready for our MST206 to be installed. Still have to clean it and take it apart, weld up the diff, and do a pulley swap on it, but we will be getting to that probably tomorrow at some point. But for now, let's go ahead and yank this Very Drive FNR piece of SHIT out of this and throw it as far as I can across the yard, and hopefully never see it again. Alright, we got this thing lifted up in the rear, strapped down in the front, going this way and going that way to keep it from sliding around. We are ready to remove this heap of shit transaxle that is in it and get ready for the good stuff to go in. Let's get that thing snatched out of there as quick as we can. And the garbage is out. So now take this, walk it outside. Piece of shit. Garbage. Alright guys, it's getting late. I don't have my phone. Here it is. 11:40. 11:40 at night. Getting ready to go inside. We did get our rest of the junk pulled out of this. Went ahead and pulled all the wiring and solenoid and everything that was all rusted up back in here. All the brackets and bolts and crap that was in here. Only thing I wasn't able to get out, let me get the slide out of our way, is the bracket and screws for the sensor there. So what I did was I just melted it out and left it there. To hell with it. And we wire wheeled all of the inside of this and all of the outside all back in here. Cleaned it up really good. So we're ready for tomorrow, where we will be taking and taking this up to the pressure washer, cleaning it, and getting it ready to tear down, lock the diff in that rear end, and put it back together, pulley swap it, and throw it on our MTD build. So I'm going to go ahead and dig that out and get it over here on our tear down bench, get everything ready for tomorrow, and I'll be working on that as well as another video on the engine that we will also be putting on this. Like I said, I'll be doing that in a separate video, so I'll be sure to stay tuned for that to drop. I'm going to go ahead and get things cleaned up so I can go inside, get some editing done, get some rest, get something to eat. There's a lot of getting I need to get, and I need to get this in so I can get. So I'll see you guys out here again tomorrow. Alright guys, it is a couple days later. We are back on the MTD. I had a bad migraine yesterday, so I did not work on this. We were actually just working on the 16 horsepower Honda GCV 530. It does not have a starter. It had a ring ridge, or the exhaust valve was stuck and it wasn't letting it continue forward. I got it to break free. Everything's spinning over now nice and clean, and the engine oil is nice inside. We're just having a problem that the engine won't spin over with the drill that I have. It is not strong enough. Even the plug-in drills, not strong enough. So we're going to have to wait and get a starter for it. So we're going to be off that project until we do. And I'm going to try to find something to work. But until then, I'm at a dead standstill. So we're going to start working on this guy. Peerless, MST 206, Transaxle. We need to tear this apart, lock it, and put it back together. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to take this thing up to the pressure washer with the beast here. Oh, we got the mascot out too. He's doing a ground inspection. So let's go ahead and take this up to the pressure washer, get this thing nice and clean so we can go ahead and tear this thing apart. Worry about locking this diff, put it back together so we can maybe put this thing up in there tonight. What's up, Goob? I'm being a good boy. Good dog. Okay, so perfect size rack here. We've got our transaxle on, and I guess we're about to go ahead, take it up here, get it cleaned up, and ready for disassembly. We have us a clean transaxle. So now we can go in there, start our disassembly process, and see what we're working with inside of here. There's a lot of goop on the side of there I need to get off. I don't know what the heck that was put in there for. But yeah, let's get this thing back down to the shop, disassemble, and see what the inside looks like. Alright, we got our transaxle up here on the table. We need to remove our brackets, remove the pulley up top, and then we'll go ahead and start getting into this axle and throwing a lock on the old girl. So let's start tearing into it. Alright guys, I just came back out here from eating dinner. Didn't realize how late it was. It's like 10 something. Me and Marshall are going to go in and rest. He's tired, I'm tired, we're all tired. So I'm shutting down the shop for the night. And we'll go inside and get some rest, maybe edit some video. And I will see you guys back out here tomorrow on this project, where we will be tying up this, whatever the Transaxle is. I haven't researched it yet, but I'm going to when I go in. We're going to be putting this together, welding the diff, all that good stuff, and getting it in our MTD build. So, see you guys out here again tomorrow. Alright guys, it is the next night, and I've been out here working on this thing for a while off camera. I did get a couple things on camera. I welded our diff, reassembled our Transaxle, everything's back together, it's pulley swapped and adjusted. The only thing is I noticed while putting it back together, it is a Peerless 930 057A. As you see, our gap here for our axle shaft around the casing is nice. Look at that one. Severely worn. So what happened was it was putting too much weight up like that, and it was digging into the Transaxle, and with the spider gears not welded, it was able to go up further. Now that the spider gears are welded, it's not able to go up that high. But I don't know how long this one's going to last. We're going to try to make it last, but it is going to be a racing Transaxle, and that means it's going to get abuse. So, it's got a little bit of play on this side. On this side it does not. So it just makes me wonder how she's gonna work out. But Peerless 930, reassembled, ready to rock. We'll come back out here tomorrow and put this in that unit there and get it all hooked up, all that good stuff. So yeah, once again, I'll see you guys out here tomorrow. What is going on? It is the next day. We're about to go out here and get started on the MTD. We locked our Transaxle last night. We have to install that today and start getting some wheels and tires on this thing and turning it into a roller. The plan for the day is install Transaxle, get the back wheels and tires done, get the front wheels and tires done, and get this steering rod in the front done so I can drop that thing on the ground and start trying to put the hood on it. So if y'all follow the TikTok and stuff, y'all will see a little clip of yesterday where I was riding this and the belt broke, And then my wife got on it to help me pull it up the driveway, and I was on the mud slut and she was on this. This don't have any brakes at all. And we were coming up the driveway and the connection came loose in the front and she started rolling backwards. And I legit almost killed myself trying to save her from imminent death. I ended up jumping off my tractor real fast and running up and grabbing these and digging my heels into the ground and bringing the tractor to a stop. But needless to say, my back hurts a little bit today from said escapades. Yeah, I'm pretty sore. That gravel tore me up yesterday. But she didn't get hurt. I did. So, hey, that's good. I'd rather get hurt than hurt. But, needless to say, we got our belt fixed. And we had found out that we were rubbing on the clutch. There. This little rod right here. We're rubbing right there. So I added another pulley in there. So now it has, including the drive and trans pulley, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. Damn. But it is a lot better now. It doesn't rub shit. When I hit the clutch, it disengages the belt completely now like it should, and everything stays on there. It is perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. The belt grabs way better. It's just all around just better setup, and I am very, very happy with it. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get down here, get started for the day, and hopefully maybe be able to get done with everything we need to get done with. I went ahead and put the transaxle in myself without the camera on because it was just 4 bolts, but it fits up in there perfectly. I'm not using the outer holes anymore, I'm using the inner ones, but no drilling, no nothing. It bolted right up in there, and there she sits. The Peerless 930. It is a 930, right? Yeah, Peerless 930. 057A. Locked and installed. We need to add a bracket as a mount for the trans for the front. Also might need to make some clearance with the brake a little bit. And I might just take that off the brake itself. But it's looking good. Now we need to source some tires. We're going to be using the rims or the wheels that those bigger tires are on. But we have something else in mind for tires. So let's go check that out real quick. Alright. I want those. 16 658s, I do believe. Yep, 16 658s. I want those. So we're going to be pulling this out and getting those tires off of that snapper. I also want those for the fronts, so I need to get those as well. Looks like I'm going to be dropping that trailer back on the ground after all, but oh well. I need those tires for now. I don't really use that trailer a whole lot, but yeah. Plan is go ahead and yank this out, get those off, and then we'll yank those real quick. Get our wheels and tires set up. We'll go ahead and put those on the front, and then we'll go ahead and set up and get ready for the ones to go on the rear and mount our wheels, and we will be a roller. What are you doing, buddy? Is everything good? Is everything good in the world, the dog? He's a good boy. Alright, we got our donor out. Let's get these wheels off. I don't think I can use the wheels themselves. I'd love to put a 4-bolt hub on my stuff, but I don't think the shaft will allow it. I think those are a bigger shaft, which I'm pretty certain it is. But that being said, let's get these tires off. Alright guys, we got one hub and wheel on. Unfortunately, we're going to have 4 lug on one side, 3 on the other, but I can always find another 4 or a 3 later. One side's on, we're about to do the other. We had to cut the axle shaft off of the mower and then cut it out of the hub because it was stuck. So I'm about to weld the hub back together. I got it on the axle so it don't tighten up on me. We'll weld that crack back together right there. Sorry about the lighting, I need to get my flashlight. And after we weld that, we'll put the tire on, or drill the hole out and put the tire on. And then we'll have both rears done and move to the front. There they are, snapper wheels and tires, 16 by 6/58. Let's lower this thing onto the ground or onto the lift, and we'll focus on the front. Alright, we got the rear sitting down. It is not as low as I wanted it to be, but that is just how it is. Let's see how low we can get the front. And I guess next step is to go ahead, go out there and get our front tires off of that trailer. Come in here, get some C-clips, install them, and then we'll probably play with steering some, so tomorrow can be the hood. Let's get to it. Well guys, there it sits. It isn't near as low as I wanted it. I wanted it a lot lower than that. I guess that's what I get though. It is really not low. I see why. I see exactly why. It's the spindles themselves. They're jacking the front end up a whole hell of a lot. If I was to cut and cut, I could probably lower it down quite a bit. Let me think about that for a minute. And that looks more like it. Marshall approves. See that tail just a wagging. Flip the axle. So I'm working on the steering rod now. We're going to get it hooked up. We cut out quite a bit of the middle. We cut that out of it, and then we're going to butt these two together and weld her up. And we'll have that done. We'll have to worry about our toe in, toe out a little bit, and then to match the front with the rear, I'm probably going to take and come in here with my metal saw tomorrow and cut all the way around, and then slide one over the other and slide it down until the fenders are nice and even, and then weld it all the way back up. So that is the plan. Let's get to the steering and try to knock it out tonight. Alright guys, I'm about to hit him for the night. Here's what we're looking at. Of course we got the Peerless 930 locked and in the unit. No shifter yet. We still haven't done the front brace. We got the snapper rear hubs and wheels on. Everything is bolted down. One's a 3, one's a 4. 4 now. We'll solve that out later. We came up here and we realized that the front was too high, so we flipped our axle. We did a little work here and there, trying to fix our trajectory and our angles on our steering and our camber and caster. So I got all that solved. I had to add a little bit here in the steering rod that attaches the two wheels together, and then I also had to do a little modifications onto this rod here that is the actual steering rod of the machine. But we have, after adjustments, left and right, and center of the wheel is center of the wheels. That is very important for me. I can't stand it if it's not. So center is center. Everything looks good. We got the seat mounted hard, and we're going to come through tomorrow, like I said, and lower our fenders to come down to the wheels. So we'll lower our fenders, and then we will start working on the hood itself. And once we get all those in place, then we can start worrying about bracing the trans and the shifters and plates to go over stuff, because I'm probably going to like cut out plates to go over that there and this over here and then that there, just to kind of dress this thing up, make it look more race-ish. We got to build a battery box for in between the seat, and hopefully we can also somehow do a shifter in between the seat. We're going to have to find out first. Might have to try to do it through the side of the frame and do it off the side over there. We'll figure that out though. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I've done quite a bit of work on this today, even though I haven't cut the camera on it many times today. It has been a lot of work. From pulling these wheels to having to cut the stuff out of the hub and then weld it back together, and all the welding I've done, and it's been quite a bit. But good things, you know, good is these tires are holding air back here. Those tires up there haven't even been touched with any air. They actually just hold naturally. I put air in them a while back and they're still good. So that's going to be our tire setup, and I like it. So I think it looks pretty sweet, and it's going to look even better once I bring those fenders in the rear down. Think about it. It's going to look really good. So I'll just keep that in mind, and I will see y'all out here tomorrow. Where we will be taking and chopping our fenders and running them down. We've got put our tomorrow's task on, but we've got a whole bunch of stuff checked off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things off of the list. So let's continue checking off tomorrow, and I will see you guys then. Alright guys, this is the next and last day on the MTD build for part 1. This is going to be a 3-4 part series. I'm not sure how long. And also the videos are now a little longer. They used to be 30 minutes or so long, 30 to 45 minutes. Now they're anywhere from an hour to like an hour 45. And that's just because I've started doing a little more work to these things. I've started to do a little more extensive builds, and they take longer. You know, they take a few weeks, months, however long it takes to get together, and it is hard to cram all that footage into 30 minutes. So videos ended up being longer, and ended up being, you know, more parts to series and stuff like that. But this is going to be like a 3 to 4 part series. This is the roller series, as I'd like to, or the roller episode, as I'd like to call it. Turning it into a functionable roller for an engine and belt system and so on and so forth. But with that being said, let's get into it today. We're going to drop our rear fenders and maybe try to get to the hood, but we need to make a cut. We're going to need to lift this up, take the tires back off. We're going to need to make a cut around the frame, and then we're going to drop the back down towards the tires. So let's take our wheels off. Ooh, they held air. Awesome. Let's take our wheels and tires off after we get it lifted up, and then we'll make our cut, put our wheels and tires back on, and then lower the fenders down to where I want them. And then we will start the welding process of welding everything back together. Alright guys, here we are. We have chopped our rear. Just like I said, I'm about to go in here and weld this to the backing. And then after we get that completed on the back, we'll let the straps go. We'll lift it back up, take the wheels back off. We'll do the sides, and then we can put the wheels back on and be done with the back fenders, which look pretty dang good, if I must say so myself. So we got the ratchet straps off, and we've got it double welded. What I did was I came through here and I put a small bead connecting the two all the way across, and then I cleaned everything up with wire wheel and drill, and then I came through here and did a big wide bead. It might not be the prettiest, but it is solid. And I filled in a couple holes that weren't going to be needed anymore. But what we're going to do now is lift this thing back up and get the wheels off so I can weld the sides back together. So let's get that done, and then this conversion will be finished. Kind of like that. Yes, it has clearance. It just don't look like it. God, it don't look like it. I love it. And all we have to do after we finish up the fenders is mount our hood and get it on there, and then this thing's gonna look real mean, real mean. I love that front is. I'm gonna drill and tap and put a bolt in the end of these instead of the clips to keep it from coming apart when I hit high speeds on this thing. But God, is she looking good. I am digging this build, and I love those lug wheels. I just wish I had 4 on both sides. That would make it so much better. And then get some lugged go-kart fronts. Oh, this thing will be sick. I'm also going to do some plating. Like I said, I'm going to plate this, plate that to make this thing nice and good looking. We came in here and we have welded this right side of the frame nice and boxed in, double welded all the way down. Also trimmed down the bolt on this hub so the wheel will sit more center, especially the plastic hub piece that goes around the wheel. We're going to come through here now and blow this out with some compressed air and pick up our tools, and we're going to go ahead and put our 4-lug wheel and tire back on this side and call this done and move on to the other side. We have successfully got this side done now. It's not as pretty as the other side, but it is boxed in and sturdy, so that's all joined together and double welded. Everything's been cleaned, so the whole thing is done. Let's go ahead and throw our wheel back on and drop this thing back down to the ground. Then we'll probably go ahead and start working on the hood. We got her sitting down, and wow, what a difference. It really brought the center of gravity down on that seat for sure. The seat was pitched too far forward to start with because the whole mower is leaning forward because of the rake. So that actually compensated for the seat being pitched too far forward. Everything is pretty much nice now. Most would think, yeah, the steering wheel's at a little bit of an awkward angle, and while I kind of agree, I kind of disagree. That's going to be fine for me since I'm long-armed and long-legged. I'm building this machine for me, so if it fits me, it's good. So I dig the look. We have about an inch clearance on each fender. So now that that's done, the rear end lowering, the front end lowering, we're going to go ahead and raise the front back up on some jack stands. Go ahead and start fitting the hood onto the front. I know that we're going to probably be short by a few inches, because I definitely can't move the hood this way to meet the dash, because then it's not going to give the V Twin room enough to sit in there, because the single cylinder was already close to the hood. So if I shorten it, it's not going to fit, or the engine's not going to fit. And if I just put it back together the way it was, the hood's not going to fit, because the dash has been moved back 5 inches. So what we need to do, instead of adding onto the hood like I did in a previous video, building the Troy built lowered mower, I added on to a red Murray hood with some gray flat sheet metal and extended it to the dash. Well, I don't want to do that with this hood, because I don't want to touch this hood with a welder, period. So what I want to do instead is I want to come from the dash to meet the hood. I don't want, I'm thinking to maybe make the dash come up some for like a faceplate for switches and stuff, and then out a little bit for the hood to meet it, so when the hood closes it has something close to, and then we'll worry about hood pins and stuff like that. But for now we need to get the hood mounted and make sure that it's back in about the right place that it used to be. So let's go ahead and knock that out and see if we can get it back in generally the right position. Now I'd like to point out something real quick that a lot of people will probably go, well, you're just a wuss, or blah blah blah, just crawl up under it. Well, the heavy stuff can kill you, you know, just especially if you're under it and it hits you in the head in the right spot. Yeah, it can crush you, kill you dead. I know this ain't that heavy, but if it did, you know, if I was under there and it just happened to slap me in the temple with the end of a bolt, well, done. To keep things from falling, I like to strap it down. Like say I'm lifting the front right now, I ran a strap from the back over to here, and I ran from the strap from the back around to the other side, so it pulls it both ways and keeps it steady. This thing is not moving anywhere, but I can still lift the front. And vice versa with the same way around. Always strap your stuff down, guys. If you're going to lift it up on lift or anything like that, keep it from rolling. Strap it down. Don't trust wheel chocks. Strap it down if you can. It just makes for a little safer work area. And there's my tech tip of the day. So, or of the night. Alright, now that I got this thing lifted up on jack stand, I did one more ratchet strap from up here, pulling down there to pull this thing down to keep it on the jack stand. Now look at this, I can shake this thing. That's not coming down. So, be safe, guys. If y'all gonna work, take a couple seconds to strap it down. Could save your life or just save you a while of heartache. But let's go ahead and get this hood on there. See how it's gonna fit. Cooperate with everything else. Need to get the brackets out for it and go ahead and start doing some fitting. We got our brackets cut out for our hood. Just need to get them in place, and then we will have hood mounts. Look at that nice work. There's our brackets. Welded them straight to the axle, and instead of it coming over and bolting to the frame like it did. And it's welded all the way around, and then I have brackets on the back to hold it nice in place. That's good work, guys. I don't care what y'all say. The welds might not be the prettiest, but that looks nice and sturdy for a nice hood bracket. So let's go ahead and grab the hood, slap it up here, and see how it fits. Well, I'm calling it a night, and I'm calling it for this series on the MTD, or not the series, but the episode, part 1. There will be a part 2. As of now, that is my only project, so I will be continuously putting out videos on it until I'm finished with it, and I'm still trying to save up some money to get a starter, so bear with me, guys. But we'll get it as far as we can, for sure. There it sits. Yes, I did dent the hood putting it on. I started to pop it out, and I was like, you know what, it adds character for the old girl, so I just, I'm going to leave it. You see it. It's right there. It's not that bad. All you see back here is Transaxle. We got the hood. We won't need hood pins. Because it kind of has its own thing. We're about to put the fuel tank up in it tomorrow, but there's our riggings. I welded that and then put the hood rods to that and then bent them out. So it gives it a good grab on the hood itself. But that is it. Hood brackets and hood brackets. So everything body wise is done except for adding the battery box and putting in the gas tank, which I got to drop that plate down right there some, and then I'll probably weld it in and then put the battery or the fuel tank on it, and then the battery box in between the seat and the dash. But that is it. Close the hood. How low that thing sits. She low. Boy, does it look good.
driver's experience. Yeah. Yeah, the hood looks a little uneven, but when I build the dash up top to connect the two, it will be done. But I got a few things to complete for this is completely a roller. Plates, battery box, the rest of the hood, and the fuel tank positioning and a tank inside of it. So all that'll be on part 2, which will be coming out next week. So y'all be sure to stay tuned for that. If you're just watching for the first time, be sure to subscribe. If you're into this content, please go down there and leave me a like as well. It helps with the algorithms and stuff, and I'm just getting myself back up there in the algorithms after being down for a while with editing software. Well, technically not just editing software, my whole computer, both of them crashed, so you know, couldn't do anything until I got something else set up. But it's good to be back, and yeah, go down there and leave a like if you don't mind, if you like the content. Comment down below if you have any questions or just want to say something, whatever. Tell me where you're from. I like to know where my viewers are from, and I like to know you guys actually enjoy the content. So yeah, y'all be sure to let me know, and check out the Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and the TikTok. The only one that's different is the Snapchat. It's an avatar. The rest of them are the same profile picture as the YouTube channel. So you can go to those platforms, type in Flying Brown's Garage in those search engines, and you should find me. Post different content to those, try to daily, and it's like a sneak peek on what's to come, and you will see things on there that you will not see in the videos. They're strictly other profile posts and videos, clippets, and whatever they are. So yeah, y'all be sure if y'all are those platforms to go follow me there. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Go check out some of the older videos that are there. We have a bunch of playlists down below in the main channel page. You can go and just search. There's a whole bunch of playlists, and you know, you can just click random or whatever you want to do. But yeah, check out some of the older videos. Y'all be sure to stay tuned for the newer videos to drop, and I will see you guys on part 2.